Turn your weaknesses to strengths and strengthen your strengths is a motto that I've lived by for the past 5 years. When I first decided I'm going to dedicate myself completely to learning the art of 9-ball. Of course, my motto on my channel is precision, accuracy, consistency, and control. These are things that I've really tried to ingrain in my game. Now, my game is not perfect. It does have some flaws, but the one thing that I've always believed in, and that is training. A trained mind becomes a consistent mind. A consistent mind gives you a great player, or an aspiring great player. Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another practice session with Apex Selenio from the Apex Predator Billiards Training Club. And if this is the first time here on the channel, do not forget to hit the subscribe button below, turn on your post notification bell, leave some positive questions and comments down below, and do not forget to share this out to your pool community. Now, in this particular practice session here, I'll be working on thin, well, not necessarily thin, but I'll be working specifically on 45-degree cut shots down the rail. This is a shot that pretty much is a fear for many players. It gives players grief. Most times they go for a bank or they go for a save. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through a few things related to this shot here. Now, I have several objectives from this video that I'm working on for myself, and by extension, by you completing this video, you will also achieve these objectives as well once you go on the practice table. Now, here's the setup for the shot, and as these objectives are achieved, I will let you know throughout the commentary here. Now, what I'm doing is that I'm setting up the 45-degree cut shot here, and the gestures being demonstrated there on table is that I'm creating a square. I'm creating a 2x2 square, and so the cue ball is on one vertex of the square and the object ball is about a half a ball on the other vertex of the square, and here that creates a 45 entry angle into the contact spot of the object ball here. Now, the very first shot here, of course, the aim is to make the shot, but it's of course to get a feel of the speed and if what I'm looking at is in fact a 45-degree cut. So you can see there, even though most of you guys would think that that's not possible to overcut, well, of course, this video is without editing any of my mistakes. I want you to see not just the consistency, but I also want you to see the inconsistencies as well. Now, again, I missed the first shot, so let's have a look at the second pot. Beautifully potted down the rail. And so, of course, one of the objectives of this video is to use, of course, automatic aiming. Now, when I'm aiming at these shots, guys, if you notice that I do not use the pivot technique or the ghost ball technique, I'm actually using fractional ball aiming. So I definitely know that for a 45-degree cut shot, I'm going to be aiming just on the outside edge of the object ball here. And let's have a look at shot number 3. Again, beautifully sliding down the rail there, not catching the rail and getting in. It's just going dead into the center of the pocket. And so what I'm aiming at is just on the outside edge of the object ball here. Again, these shots should be about a half ball. You can put a quarter ball. You can push yourself to the limit and putting a quarter ball off the rail, making it thinner. But then it's going to be the same contact spot. It's the speed that's going to make the pot cleaner here. Now, you'll notice that I'm switching sides for each of my shots because not only am I training the right side of my brain, but I'm also getting the left side of my brain trained as well. Beautiful pop there on that ball. You can see the consistency in the cue ball's direction across the table. So again, with this aiming technique, this automatic aiming technique that I'm working on here, this is where you can be very confident in that, am I going to scratch or am I not going to scratch? And I'm going to give you several variances of what I'm doing here, guys. In the next upcoming videos, I'll be doing a 30-degree cut and a 60-degree cut and how you can identify these sections of the object board that you're aiming at. Now again, keep your eyes on the object ball. Notice that the cue ball is always going across the table 2.5 times, always ending up somewhere in the middle of the table there. And of course you can see that the object ball is entering into the pocket without grazing the rail. Now once you graze the rail with pocket speed, it means that you didn't exactly hit on the outside edge of the object ball. Again, you will see the images popping up on the screen, or you would have seen the images pop up at what you should be looking at when it is that you're aiming at this type of cut. Again, one unsuccessful shot. You can see the counter at the bottom there, how many times unsuccessful. Let's have a look here at the cue ball and the object ball and watch how it floats into the pocket beautifully. Cue ball again bouncing twice across the table and back to the center of the table. Now you should also bear in mind as well that even though we're practicing how to pot a shot, you should still consider cue ball control and cue ball direction, because a difficult putt to the eyes of the audience, you will also find here that it's easy for you because you're confident in your training there. Again, another beautiful execution there on that shot. Again, the speed control. Notice that the cue ball is always ending back into the middle of the table. So again, as I said, you can use this technique here of aiming and play a tough putt and get perfect position here. Now again, as you can see, my video is running straight. I'm not editing, I'm not showing you my successful attempts. I'm showing you both unsuccessful and successful attempts as well. And again, let's have a look here at the cue ball and the object ball. Object ball didn't touch the rail going in, and again, cue ball, notice that it ends up anywhere near the middle left or right side of the table there. All right, now a thing that someone, well, I shouldn't say a thing, it's one of the most subtle information about rail putts like these. And then of course it is that a lot of players get blindsided by the rail. They often are fearful of overcutting, or pardon me, they are always fearful of undercutting the ball. So they, of course, aim a bit thinner, and then sometimes the cue ball gets thrown away from the pocket. Again, I'm not thinking about whether I'm going in the center of the pocket or the right side or the left side, because my aiming technique here is automatic. Once I get down on the table, I'm going to know what the 45-degree cut angle is, and I'm going to know where exactly on the object ball I'm aiming. So if you notice that this is a really powerful aiming technique that I believe that the pros are using there. Again, as you can see, an unsuccessful attempt there, and I'm happy that you guys are able to see that during my training it is not unsuccessful. I've had some days where I'm training and it literally is not going well for me. I've missed putts 5 times in a row, 7 times in a row. You will see as I continue to post there, you're gonna see now where I have a really hard time putting this black ball here. And of course this brings up a very important information about the game. Knowing that you're the type of player that plays 8 ball, 9 ball and 10 ball, you will find that most of the times your missed shots in practice oftentimes occur on the 8, the 10 and the 9. And why exactly do I think that this happens? It's not a matter of you not aiming well or you not using the technique well. I believe that there's a stigma that is attached to the 8, the 9 and the 10, because these are the balls that we call the money ball during the game. So a lot of the times we sometimes say to ourselves, okay, this is the last ball, and it kind of triggers, you know, when you have that important 8 and you just miss that putt by a hair, or you undercut, or something strange just happens during the match and you just miss the black. Now again, as you can see here, I've made all my successful putts up to the 8 ball here, but what you're seeing now is that I'm having a lapse in concentration in my training here. Again, missing that 8 by undercutting the shot. So you notice that the first time I missed it by undercutting, the second time I missed it by overcutting, the third I missed it by undercutting, now the fourth I'm missing it again here by overcutting. So again, it's not a matter of me not being able to really make the pot. There you can see very successful in that pot, sliding down the rail. It did graze the rail. If you look carefully, it did graze the rail going in, but I'm glad to get rid of that black. And so as you can see, you're gonna see a change in the stigma, because I was missing that black about 4 or 5 times a while ago, guys. Let me know in the comments. But now, as soon as I get down on the 11 ball here, you'll see that I get back to perfect form. Again, I don't know what's the sign with this. You can see that my cue ball control, I can see here. I thought that this was funny to leave in the video. I did have an uninvited guest joining me in training. It's one of the elders, I guess. He doesn't play pool. I don't know who he is. I think he was giving me some sort of insight. Now I do have a really strange look on my face, because I'm wondering, what is he saying to me? What is he telling me about pool that I don't know at this point? I entertained him, and I thought that it would be funny to show you guys that I am having a live. I don't want my training sessions to look or feel generic. I want you to understand that in training, this is why my channel is called Apex Predator Billiards Training, because I'm in live training. I'm not making some videos or making pots and showing you how to do it. I'm showing you also that mistakes can occur during your training as well. So I do thank the elder there. Gave me some insight. Maybe he gave me some luck. So let us see if we can get back to some consistency here. I'm going to be potting the I believe this is a 13 ball or it's the 11 ball. They both look alike. Beautiful pot there. Again, back to consistency here. I'm not using an aiming system, guys. I know that a few of you guys have your own aiming system. I have practiced this shot almost every day of every week or every practice session. I practice this shot, so I've developed a feel for the potting angle. I know where exactly on the object ball I should aim to get a pot in the pocket there. I did miss that one by overcutting. Just a slight lapse in concentration during the training session, guys, but these things are going to happen occasionally. This is why you train. You're training several things in your game here: cue ball control, potting angle, recognizing a 40-degree angle, maintaining the cue ball to go twice across the table and stop in the middle of the table there. You're doing a lot of things. You're developing a natural intuitive instinct for the shot. And as I said, in the next few upcoming videos, I'll be doing the 30-degree cut, the 60-degree cut from anywhere across the table at the bottom half, cutting it down the rail. You will learn exactly how never to miss these shots in the future under pressure situations. Your beautiful pot there on the 10, and of course here, sliding down the rail beautifully. Now, of course, I have one rack, so my aim is always to try to get more than 70% success here. And let me know in the comments, guys, based on the counter there, what is my success rate for this pot. This is something that I do every single morning here. Let us see if we can get the final pot here. Beautiful pot there on the 7, bringing that aspect of the training session to the end there. So I'm going to pick up another 15 balls here. I'm just checking the time on the clock, because I definitely don't want to bore you guys with just training. I definitely want to give you a lot of insight into how I'm doing this. Now, I was contemplating, should I start a new video for this, or should I just continue here? Of course, my decision is to actually continue showing you exactly how these pots are made. Now, again, I like doing these drills more than one time. So I like to shoot at least 30 balls per session. I often just do 15 based on my because I do work in days. So when I leave work, I come to training a bit tired, so I don't try to overdo, because these shots don't come up a lot, but when they do, I want you guys to be absolutely prepared. Now, what I've done here is that I've brought the object ball a diamond down and brought the cue ball a diamond across here, and I'm getting what apparently seems to be a thinner cut. And this is what usually happens to players the moment, and that was a beautifully executed shot there, sliding down the rail. How is Apex doing this? Are you using an aiming system? I am absolutely not. I'm using fractional ball aiming, which is arguably aiming system, but at the moment I recognize the potting angle of the shot here, and I know again it's a 45-degree. Again, Apex, how do you know that's a 45-degree? How do you know how to set up the 45-degree? Well, I'm actually aiming from one vertex of a 1x1 square into the other vertex, or the diagonal vertex of that same 1x1 square, and that's how I'm creating the 45-degree. So the first diamond on the short rail connects with the first diamond on the long rail. The middle diamond on the short rail connects with the middle diamond on the long rail. Vice versa, the third diamond on the short rail connects with the third diamond along the long rail here. So that creates the 45. So right now I'm shooting from the vertex of a 1x1 square, where the pocket, the first diamond, and one diamond up and across from the long rail, and just potting the shot. So again, it's the same point on the object ball that I'm aiming at. I'm actually aiming just on the outside edge, just here. So you'll see the image on screen here. I'm showing you where what you should be looking at. This is what you should be looking at when you get down. If you're seeing this, then that's where you're supposed to aim in order to make the pot here. Again, missing that one, of course you're gonna get that one miss, and this is why you train. If you can get yourself to at least a 95% success rate in training with the pressure and the mental game, it will probably break you down to about a 55, maybe a 60% success. And so of course that is more than half the chance that you would have actually been given to make this in a tournament setting or in a game. Again, guys, always welcome and embrace mistakes, because these are what teaches us. I did have a conversation with a gentleman, and we actually had a big disagreement with embracing your mistakes, embracing your loss, but we're not going to be getting into that. Of course, I just knew what I knew what I've read, and again, as I said, during training, embrace the mistakes, be open. It's okay to miss, because you're learning how not to miss, guys. Again, let us see if we can get some consistency here. Beautiful pot there on the 6. Object ball is not even touching the rail going in, so you can see that this automatic aiming that I'm carrying you guys through here, it wasn't attained over a period of 2 months or 1 month or 3 months. I've constantly been potting object balls. So once I'm on the table, if I'm not playing competitive pool or I'm not playing with a high caliber player, I'm on the table hitting balls. Always hitting balls, getting a feel. Again, I'm moving now to the, is this the 2x? This is the 3x3 square now. So I'm aiming here very close to the pocket. A beautiful pot. Again, using the whole entire opening of the pot, of the pocket, not grazing the rail. And you'll notice that in all my shots, you can see that the object ball is entering into the pocket at the same speed, in the same line. The cue ball is traveling in the same path, and the rest point of the cue ball is relatively the same, where it goes twice across the table and stop in the middle here. 1, 2 rails. So that's 1 rail, 2 rail, 2.5 coming across there. So lots of consistency with this angle. Again, this is still a 45-degree cut. This is still a 45-degree cut here. So I'm putting the object ball here about a half a ball off the third diamond below the side pocket, and I'm aiming through the first diamond under the corner pocket from which I'm aiming there. So once I'm aiming through that angle, again, I'm still aiming just on the outside edge of the object ball, and consistently you see that the object ball is entering into the pocket and the cue ball is having the same path and having the same rest point here. Again, you can see how close you're threading towards the side pocket. Again, a lot of players see this shot, they refuse it because they are fearful of the scratch. But once you know that once you pocket this object ball with the automatic aiming system I'm showing you and demonstrating to you and teaching you here, you'll see that again it enters into the pocket, hits just top side, just barely, maybe like about a quarter diamond, below, or actually, well, in this case from my angle, below the side pocket. You can be assured that you're not going to scratch. Now if you have any sort of unwanted side spin, left or right depending on the cut angle, you are going to scratch. Again guys, you have to take accountability when it is that you make a pot and it scratches. It is not the cue ball's fault, it is actually the fault of your stroke or where you're aiming. So you have to practice the hit on the vertical axis of the cue ball, or else you're going to get inconsistent result. Again, let's have a look at another example here. I'm not sure if I missed this one, but let us just get it focused here, guys. Aiming just on the outside edge of the object ball with stun follow, if that's what you want to call it, a half a tip above center. Missing that one, just as I thought. So again, you're gonna have that one miss, but check your percentage. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, I am in fact counting my success and failures as well. So you can see that I have a really high percentage, except when I'm shooting at the 8, the 9 or the 10 ball here. But again, let us try to get this in here. Gonna be trying to pop this cleanly as well, straight into the pocket, top side, both side pockets there, and the cue ball again entering back towards the center of the table. Now I can tell you, I can assure you, I've never gotten the feeling, well, I've gotten it in training, but not in front of an audience. When you make a pot like this, best believe I'm telling you, you're going to rip the roof off the pool hall or the pool lounge that you're in. But let's stay focused, guys. Let's stay focused on training here. I'm gonna be potting this last ball here. Beautiful pot there, side rail, back to the center of the table, and ending this beautiful training session here. So I do hope that you guys enjoy what you just saw there. I do hope that you share this content, help players become better, because I've been training for a long time. It's about 5 years going into my training now, and it has worked for me. So I definitely want you guys to appreciate training more than you already have. All right, so I'll see you in the next video, guys. We're going to be talking about 30 degree and 60 degree cut. Until then, take care. Bye bye.